In fact, just give me a fresh phone list, Genesis. Go through and make sure everybody's there, and also on my phone system. And I'll try to just rattle through a bunch of calls in the next segment because I want to hear from you on the oil spill, the economy, all of it. Bob, you heard my question going to break, but to recap it for those that joined us, those that just tuned in, short-term collapse versus long-term collapse. Any way you slice it, there's no way out. This plane's going down. The question is, do we get our landing gear down? And as Dr. Paul Craig Roberts, former head of the Treasury, said, there's probably no way to even get the landing gear down.
Well, I think it all depends on what they do with the money supply in Europe, England, the United States, and the creation of liquidity. And if they continue to do what they are, which is tightening, we will shortly go into a deflationary depression, which means interest rates will probably rise in the real market because everything that is in the bond market will become somewhat suspect, and the stock market will go down. I think there's a good chance before the year is out, a very good chance that 6,650 on the Dow Jones Industrial Average can be tested. I think we're around 10.2 right now. And that was the low that we experienced a year ago, March. And incidentally, we called that at 6,600, and we're very proud of that. But and then again, that could break and move down to 4,000. And I think eventually next year is going to be a horrible year. And I think next year the market could get down to the 28 to 3,200 area on the Dow. And Richard Russell's calling for 1,000, so I feel very conservative. And so that sort of goes along with what Gerald had to say. It's just that my timings, I just don't know what it is until they commit themselves. And we'll find that out over the next month or two. And if they're looking to have a deflationary depression, this is the spot to do it in if it works for them, if they can put all their programs in place.
Well, let's go back. Let's go back to 19 months ago with the October 2008 banker takeover known as the banker bailout bill that was supposedly for subprime mortgages. And then the October 4th, the day after they passed it, Paulson said, I'm not going to tell you where we're spending it. None of it's going to mortgages. If we go back then, they used psychological terrorism to drive the market down almost 1,000 points to create fear to get their agenda through. And so we've seen that they're signifying that we're really in a depression causes it to deepen because of the destruction of confidence. And so I see them trying to prop it up into the election and then into the new year. And I tend to disagree with Gerald a little bit. I think he's right overall. I believe they're going to announce, if I had to do a dead reckoning, this isn't a prediction, just if I had to put a date on it, I would imagine that by April of next year, they're going to start admitting we're in a depression. Bob Chapman.
Well, I think that if they're not going to do the stimulus that I said that they would have to do, then they're going to have to admit it's a double dip recession, as they would call it, when in fact it's a continuation of a still inflationary depression until the system starts to really break down, and that would be April of next year that you're talking about, and that would take the market down to the levels that I and others have talked about. There's no avoiding it. I think, the simple way to handle this from a personal perspective is, you get in your food and your filter and be ready to defend yourself, and your gold and silver coins. And the only place that you can have any safety is in gold and silver-related assets. There's no other place. And so the formula is very simple, and that's what you've got to do. You got to get out of the stock market, out of bonds. And I just wrote an article on Wednesday. People should start phasing out of their IRAs and other vehicles that are retirement vehicles if they can. This year, next year, and the year after, a lot of people who I've talked to are saying, no, I'm going to do it all right now, and that's fine. It's just that the tax hit is bigger this year to be paid in April than it might be otherwise.
And, of course, the loss in confidence, because people are being forced to lose confidence, and gold going up is accelerating this. And even the New York Times 2 days ago admitted that gold going up is really putting the central banks in a bad place, showing that all their paper just can't compete with the real metal.
That's right.
All right, Bob, let's take calls from a bunch of people when we get back, and I get into some other issues with Bob Chapman. The good news is the boat is heading to Teen, sailor drifting in Indian Ocean. I've also got some more words on this valiant young lady straight ahead.
We're on the march. The Empire's on the run. Alex Jones and the GCN Radio Network.
This is Alex Jones with 5 good reasons you should consider buying a solar power generator. Number 1, new climate legislation could easily double or triple your electric bill. Number 2, our new energy czar wants to control how much power your electric company allows you to have. It's true. Total government control of electricity in the name of smart grid technology is coming. Number 3, in some areas of the country, the power grid is dangerously overloaded. And now, new socialist legislation is only compounding the problem. Number 4, dangerous weather is always a threat to local grids. Every year, thousands of families lose their power from weather-related outages. Number 5, a solar power generator provides powerful backup insurance and peace of mind. Folks, I really believe in the solar power generators offered by Solutions from Science, one of my oldest sponsors. You can get more information at www.mysolarbackup.com. That's mysolarbackup.com. Remember, the government doesn't own the sun, so go to mysolarbackup.com or call 1-877-327-0365. The Fall of America and the Western World is an all-new 10-hour documentary and survival guide rolled into one. In this film, you will see the reasons why our government is failing and what you can do to prepare. Featuring Dr. Paul Craig Roberts, Joseph Farah, David Icke, Naomi Wolf, G. Edward Griffin, Doug McIntyre, Mark Crispin Miller, Mickey Z, Doug Casey, David McElvaney, and myself, Alex Jones. Protect yourself and get the tools you need to protect your family from these difficult times. The Fall of America and the Western World at www.thefallofamerica.net or click on the banners at Infowars.com and PrisonPlanet.com. Again, that website's www.thefallofamerica.net or call 800-655-1577. Prepare yourself and the ones you love today. Fallofamerica.net. Hello, this is Alex Jones with some important questions. If you're going into a battle and they give you a rifle and a sidearm, how much ammunition do you want? My answer would be all I can get. In the battle for freedom and the lives of your loved ones, food is your only ammunition. How much do you want? When do you want it? Now or after the battle starts? When will you need it? Can you buy it without proper identification? Will there be any food? Will it make your children sick? If there's a quarantine and you can't feed yourself, will you go to the gathering center and be immunized? You wipe out all these problems if you have a good food supply. Food is your ammunition to fight for your freedom and your life. How much will you need? We don't know. How much do you want? All you can get. I'm Alex Jones. I want all of you good guys to live to fight another day. Call 1-800-409-5633 or check it out on the web at efoodsdirect.com. Again, that number, 1-800-409-5633. Going back to Bob Chapman and your calls, then their maiden voyage on our radio broadcast. We're going to have the folks from Free Talk Live on talking about the oil spill, the libertarian view on borders, and your phone calls as well. I know the economy is shot to kingdom come, but it is important. It is very important. It is very, very important to support local affiliates. It is important to support their local sponsors. Very courageous radio stations pick up this broadcast. And we're getting a lot of new affiliates. And people have never really heard talk like this before. I mean, they've never heard the truth. Because we lay it out. We've done the research. We know what we're talking about. And I'm not tooting my horn. I wish we were wrong. I wish that we didn't know what we're talking about. But we're telling you like it is. Okay, we're free agents for freedom. We're here trying to preserve our future, trying to preserve our Constitution, our Bill of Rights, our nation, our free planet, where our children live. And I want you to know that it is so important to support local AM and FM sponsors. And if you are a local listener who has a business, to support the stations you're listening to right now. I don't care if they're a big commercial station, you send them a donation. In fact, a lot of stations that pick us up who are commercial stations are like, I've never gotten a donation before. Well, that's because people that are smart appreciate this info. And also support our national sponsors. Because I'll tell you, other media is imploding. Not just newspapers, not just national television.